or some yap about boring medical information. Maybe some yap about medications and you want to fall asleep, then this is the perfect video. You want to learn something. Maybe you take one of these medications and you want to learn something about it, then this is also a good video for that. I also have my notebook here. I like to write what I'm reading, so it helps me remember. So, let's go ahead and open up this study guide. Currently, I'm studying the classifications of medications. The classification is basically medications that do a similar job or have a similar effect. These are medications. They can basically be classified by what they do. So if you have something like albuterol, they're gonna put it under bronchodilators, which open up your lungs so you can be able to breathe. That would be most inhalers. Now here, they have some of the more common drug classes, and it shows some of the commonly used drugs that go along with those classes. So let's get started. Let's see. Our first one here is cardiovascular system medications. Angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. Well, we're inhibiting an enzyme, so that's what I understood from that one. Let's see. Angio is usually the root for blood or blood vessels. You have something like angiogenesis in cancer, where the cancer cells start generating blood cells to help supply them with nutrients. So let's see, the short version of this is ACE inhibitors. Indications is basically the purpose of the medication. So, indications for the ACE inhibitors would be hypertension, which is high blood pressure. Prefix hyper usually means high. And then tension, this is pressure, so high blood pressure. In the context of cardiovascular medications. Congestive heart failure. Post-myocardial infarction. This is usually after a heart attack. And then here we have the adverse drug reactions. not just reading, and I'm also actively absorbing the information. Indications. So what were the indications for ACE inhibitors? We saw hypertension, high blood pressure. We saw congestive heart failure. As you can see, my handwriting is horrendous. I will be your future doctor, and my handwriting will stay the same, so good luck to any future pharmacies that want to deal with this handwriting. So, next, we had post myocardial infarction. Okay. I also like to write down the side effects, because these are pretty important. Adverse. Let's just do effects. Adverse effects can be dry cough, we can have angioedema, again swelling of the face, throat, or tongue. You can also have hypotension, which is low blood pressure. Sometimes, if you take too many ACE inhibitors, you can have low blood pressure because they do lower your blood pressure. So, let's see some of the common ACE inhibitors, blood pressure medications. Benazepam, Lotensin. They usually try to make the brand names. These are all the brand names. They try to make the brand names usually easier, so people can remember them. The generic names usually follow some kind of class system. So we have Benazepam. I'm probably gonna pronounce half of these wrong, but it's okay. Let's write our examples here. Benazepam. As we can see, we have that suffix at the end that has to do with ACE inhibitors. So next, we have captopril. That one's easy. Captopril. And then the brand name is pretty similar there. Capotin. Let's write the brand name for this one too. Lotensin. Let's see, we have enalapril. Vasotec. That is the brand name for that. Vasotec. That one's a pretty good brand name. Let's see, we have a couple here. Lisinopril. That one's a pretty common one. We fill that one pretty often in the pharmacy. Lisinopril. And the brand name for this one is going to be Brandiville. That's kind of cute. Brandiville. Zestril. There we go. Taste. That one's a pretty nice brand name. Pretty easy. Easy stuff to remember. Okay. So these are all high blood pressure medications. Any pill at the end is blood pressure medication. So here we have the angiotensin 2 receptor blockers. This angiotensin 2 receptor blockers, or ARBs, these are also for high blood pressure. Let's see what it says here. They're the same as ACE inhibitors for hypertension, congestive heart failure, post-myocardial infarction. And then they have the same adverse drug reactions, a dry cough, angioedema, and fatigue. Differences with this one is way less of a dry cough reaction than the ACE inhibitors. So if someone is reacting pretty badly to the ACE inhibitors, then they're probably going to get prescribed ARBs, so they stop coughing as much. This one, the suffix usually is sartan. It ends with sartan. These are some of the commonly used ones. Let's see. Candesartan. Can is kind of like Candace. Candesartan. Adacan. Ibersartan. Is it Irbisartan? This one I've never been able to pronounce. I've seen it many times, never been able to pronounce it. Avapro. Much better name. Classic losartan. We fill this one a lot too. Very common. Gozar. Olmesartan. Benicar. Telmisartan. Micardis. That's an very interesting brand name, Micardis. Valsartan. Diovan. Yeah, if any of these generic ones, if I can pronounce them easily, then I probably fill them pretty often at the pharmacy. So I have to know their names. Okay, let's do some writing here. This time we have ARBs. Okay. So, for indications, we're going to have the same ones as just realized, wow. Myocardial infarction. Okay. So basically the same as ACE inhibitors. Same adverse effects are dry cough, edema. Oh, that's a horrible A. My A's are very weird. Edema or angioedema. And you have fatigue. So you're gonna get very tired. So let's see some of the ones we have listed here. We have Candesart. We have the one I cannot pronounce. Irbesartan. Ibersartan. Oh, Ibersartan probably makes sense. There's no R. Ibersartan. Ibersartan. I give up on that one. Losartan. Don't we just love a nice Losartan? Olmesartan. Telmisartan. And lastly, classic Valsartan. Okay, let's do the brand names. Atacand. Yeah, I kinda messed up the order with these. I should have done the brand names next to them, but it'll be okay. Ava Pro. Much better name for this. Telmisartan is Mycardis. Losartan is going to be Cozar. Olmesartan is that the Benacar one? Yeah, Benacar. I'm trying not to look at the book. I'm trying to do it from memory. Valcar or something. Nope, it's not that at all. Diovan. The bad thing with the brand names is they don't follow any rules. They just make up whatever name they want. So it's kind of annoying because these, they follow all the rules. The Losartan, Olmesartan, they have the same suffix, but these don't care. They just do whatever they want. Okay, next. Antiarrhythmic agents. So these are basically if you have an abnormal heart rhythm, any kind of atrial fibrillation, maybe you need a pacemaker. Abnormal heart rhythm due to atrial and ventricle fibrillation. Fibrillation. Let's see the adverse reactions. ADRs, that's what they call these. ADRs. QT prolongation. QT is a section of the little heart monitor that you see that goes like the little section there is one of the sections is called QT. I don't fully remember what section it was. Dizziness, can't pronounce it. Immunerone. Corderone. You see how nice of a space there is between these two O's. Pacerone. Pacerone's pretty nice. Flecainide. Flecainide. So as we can see, the suffixes here don't really matter. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not. So let's write down some of these before we go to the next page. We have let's see the indications. The indications, we're gonna try to write these without looking because we just read what they were, right? Our brains are working. Indications. Abnormal hearts. Rhythm. Abnormal heart rhythm. I think that should be enough. It doesn't. I don't think they're gonna. Maybe they will. Let's. You never know what they're gonna ask on that exam. Due to atrial and ventricle, ventricular, ventral would be spelled differently. Ventricular fibrillation. Fibrillation. Writing's hard, fellas. Writing is hard. Adverse effects could be a prolonged QT or whatever, same thing. QT prolongation is the same thing. And then you have, did it say drowsiness and dizziness? Yes. Okay, dizziness. And drowsiness. Okay. Let's write down some of the commonly used medications. Immunerone. And that's corderone. And the very nicely named Pacerone. Very nice name there. Flecainide. Oh my gosh, I can't pronounce anything. Flecainide. This is going in the list with choose the brand name. Generic is horrendous. Okay, let's see. We have a little note here for us. If there's a note, we should probably read it. Other cardiovascular system medications can also be used as antiarrhythmic agents, including beta blockers and calcium channel blockers. Wow, we're going to learn about those here, so we'll see. Now we have anticoagulants. These are usually blood thinners because they stop the coagulation, which is the thickening of blood. So, and usually if your blood is thickening, you're going to have a lot of issues with strokes and probably higher blood pressure. So, let's see. Indications, commonly known as blood thinners. They prevent the formation of blood clots, such as deep vein thrombosis or DVT, and reduce the risk of recurrent stroke. Adverse drug reactions could be bleeding, bruising, or fatigue, which makes sense if your blood is having a hard time thickening. So you're going to bleed out more easily. Commonly used anticoagulants. Apixaban. That's the best you're going to get out of me. Eliquis. We dispense this one. I rarely have to dispense Apixaban. The generic is good. Everyone gets Eliquis. Just get Eliquis. It's actually a bit expensive, so. Dabigatran. Pradaxa. That's kind of a cool name. Heparin. Okay, I guess they didn't make a brand name for that. Oh, here we go. Rivaroxaban. Sarletto. Just get Sarletto. It's always Sarletto. I rarely have to dispense the generic. It's Sarletto. Oh my gosh, I always say Sarletto. Xarelto. Oh, I've been saying Xarletto for so long. And the customers look at me like I'm an alien every time I say it. And you have very classic blood thinner, warfarin, Genotivin, Calmedin, which was discontinued in 2025. So now we have Genotivin. Okay. Let's write down what we read. We learned about is this? This one is. What's the next one? What was the next one? I don't remember. The next one was. Oh, the Dabby one. Dabby. Gutron. Dabby-Gutron. You have. What was the Paradoxa? Okay. You have heparin. Boring old heparin. And then we have a long name. Rick. What was it? Rick's something. Oh no, it's Riv. Rivas. Rivaro. Horrendous name, absolutely horrendous. Whoever made that generic name, you're a beast. You're a beast. Not in a good way, like a brainless animal. Because you didn't think about me having to pronounce all these, so. Sorrelto. Sorrel. So, there's an E. There's an E. Sorrelto. No, it's Arletto. You're an alien if you say Arletto. And then, that was one last one, right? Warfarin, classic. Warfarin. Then there was something with a J. It started with a J. Genotevin. Is that what it was? Genotevin. Yeah, I don't think I spelled it right, but it's okay. I said it right. And what matters is saying it right. Let's see the notes that they left for us. Note. The antidote to reverse the effects of warfarin is vitamin K. I will not be pronouncing that. Vitamin K. Okay, interesting. Antidote to reverse the effects of warfarin is vitamin K. I also know you're not supposed to drink grapefruit juice with warfarin because it has a lot of potassium. Grapefruit juice has an insane amount of potassium, so it makes the warfarin way stronger than it's supposed to be, and then your blood's going to be very, very thin. Not good. So, I'm gonna leave off on the anticoagulants here. If you guys enjoy this video, let me know. I can make more of these. I gotta study anyway, so might as well make some ASMR out of it. Kill two birds with one stone. If you're asleep right now, I don't blame you. This is so boring, but it's pretty interesting to me. So, if you like this, let me know, and I gotta keep studying. So, I'll see you guys in the next video.